Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to yet another Destiny 2 video, and ladies and gents, today is January 29th, and you know what that means. It is the last word quest unlock day. Now, I am just livid and so excited right now because the last word has lived up to the hype, everybody. I'm a little bit shocked because I thought Bungie was going to release it and there was going to be something wrong with it. You know, I thought maybe they'd add too much bloom onto it, not give it enough range, maybe even the rate of fire, they would tone that down. But no, Bungie has delivered on this one, ladies and gents. The weapon itself feels very familiar if you've used this thing a lot in Destiny 1, and it's just, it feels so good. Now, I can't comment in this video specifically on how the weapon feels and functions and performs on a console like PS4 or Xbox, because I was actually hopping on Mascot's account here to use it on PC. And also for reference, I was using a SCUF controller on PC, so just so you guys, you know, kind of get expectations set on what you're watching in the background here. So the aim did feel very crisp and easy to use. I'm not sure if that's just because it's PC or because I was using a controller on PC, but I have seen some streams and other people have been doing so well with this thing using a mouse and keyboard, and if anything, you can be a lot more accurate using a mouse and keyboard, and so this thing could be even better than what you're seeing in the background footage. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get this weapon on either my PS4 or PC account, and that's simply because I chose the wrong console to hop on Destiny today. And what I mean by that is I chose PS4, and as you guys know, once an update comes out on PS4, and I'm not sure if it's like this on Xbox, so any Xbox users listening, you know, feel free to comment down below, but the infamous copying glitch is so dumb. I mean, it'll make you wait 45 minutes to an hour just to update Destiny 2, while people on PC can literally get in 5 minutes or less depending on their internet. It's insane. Anyways though, let's take a look at the perks here, guys. The first one we have is Fanfire. This weapon can be fired quickly and continuously. Now, faster reload and increased accuracy on successive hipfire damage is also a perk, and that's something that's really nice. You're basically going to get a very fast reload speed, and you're gonna get way more accuracy and I assume less recoil if you land multiple hip fire shots on a person that you're dueling, which is nice because you get a reload and then move on to the next person and just keep going and going and going, just like a 6-shooter or something like that. Now, it's also got corkscrew rifling, accurized rounds, which gives it some nice range, and then we have hip fire grip, ergonomic grip that increases the accuracy and stability when firing from the hip, so another hip perk right there that definitely helps you out. And then finally, we have textured grip. The friction on this weapon's grip is particularly strong, slightly increases stability and greatly increases handling speed. And that's actually one thing that I will definitely say, the handling on this weapon feels just like D1. I have a feeling they copy pasted the attributes, and usually when a developer copy pastes, it doesn't end well because they're being lazy. But in this case, I'm very happy that they just copy pasted the handling because it feels absolutely great and just how it should be, like it was in Destiny 1. Now, it's not going to be like in year 1 of Destiny 1 where this weapon was absolutely broken in a good way, to be fair. I mean, it could double shot somebody while hip firing to the head for like 103s or 101s or whatever. That's obviously not in the game now, and the range on the last word back in year 1 was incredible. I mean, you could map people from ranges that pulse rifles are hitting right now in Destiny 2 from hip fire, so that's obviously not something as well. But I will say that I very much like the range balancing that Bungie put on this. Like, it fits very perfectly. It's not too much and it's not too little, especially when you're aiming down sights. I think the range is very fair, and it doesn't let you duel people from ranges that are, you know, dominated by the Ace of Spades or the Not Forgotten. So that's something I absolutely loved about this. Now, I do want to compare this weapon to everything else that we currently have in the game that's quote-unquote meta, and the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to give you guys an accurate depiction of what this weapon's role will be in the Crucible. It's not going to be a weapon that's going to replace your Not Forgotten or Ace of Spades. Don't be silly. They're completely different hand cannons and will be used in very different scenarios. So if you thought that, oh, because I can't get a Not Forgotten in the comp playlist, this weapon is now my substitute, not so quick. You know, you're jumping jumping to conclusions because the Not Forgotten is a fast time to kill weapon that can kill you in a very long distance, especially for a hand cannon. And the last word, even though it does have a ridiculous time to kill, you cannot expect this thing to map people, because even especially on console, from what I've heard, when you're aiming down sights, which is what you want to do when you're going for long range kills, this weapon's stability is pretty problematic. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. It should definitely have a lot of recoil when you're aiming down sights because it's a fast firing weapon, right? And it's meant to be a close quarters weapon that shuts down shotguns essentially. So you got to know what you're getting into. But what I would say is that I recommend that everybody gets this and makes it a priority in Destiny. So if you have other things to do, if you want to do a raid, if you want to go for this god roll or this god roll, I would put that all aside and just focus on this weapon and make it a priority. Not only, like I said, is it very fun and effective, but it's just a nostalgia factor, and if you're an OG Destiny 1 player, you need this in your life, let's be real. And I even touched on this very briefly a second ago, but the playstyle that the last word is going to essentially take in Destiny 2 is a shotgun counter weapon. This is something that's going to be super effective at shutting down apes. And we both know how annoying apes can be in Crucible. Right now, not many other weapons in the special slot, or special ammo, I should say, are really getting, you know, the light of day. You know, fusion rifles, sidearms, SMG, and especially snipers are really not being used that much. Everybody has a shotgun on from, you know, from the lobbies and things that I play. It seems like everybody's using a shotgun, and a lot of the time they're just aping you. Now, this is a weapon that is perfect because Bungie no longer has to nerf shotguns. I saw people on Twitter, content creators and stuff like that, they were saying that they want shotguns to have a slight nerf, and I didn't agree with them, but now it seems like we don't even need to have that discussion because the last word is the absolute perfect counter to shotguns. You're going to be seeing it in the gameplay in the background here throughout this entire video. I am just shutting down all these people that are aping me, and it feels good because I finally feel like I have a way of countering them, which I did in Destiny 1. I felt really good because, you know, because I don't mean to be rude or mean to anybody here, but in Destiny 2, it really felt like there were players that maybe didn't have the best skill level that were killing me with shotguns, and it felt like, you know, I really had my hands tied behind my back. You know, I would assume in my mind that I'm a better player, but it was really tough because when they just get a full head of steam and start rushing with a shotgun, especially if they have something like shoulder charge, you know, what can you do to counter them? You could maybe pull out a shotgun and counter their shotgun. So now that there's actually a realistic option out there, a lot of people's, you know, skill is just gonna rise up a little bit. That's my theory. I think the skill gap has been raised because of the last word being in the game. You're really gonna have to be able to control your recoil with this weapon if you want to use it effectively at range, and when somebody is aping you with a shotgun, you got to make sure you're landing every single one of your shots. And now those players that maybe weren't the best and relied a little bit too much on shotguns, they're now going to have to adapt and learn how to close that range without getting slapped in the face by the good old last word, and I'm very happy about that. Now, the one last thing that I want to mention, guys, is the brand new playstyle that is it's almost fully complete in Destiny 2, and it's almost a viable option. And that play style is the last word sniper combo. It's almost there, guys. We've received special ammo buffs that drop more bricks. We have scavenger perks. You know, they even made some small changes to snipers in general in terms of their ADS times and stuff like that in previous updates. And now we have the last word to counter shotguns when you're sniping. Guys, we're missing one thing. We need that one big buff to snipers in terms of their ADS speed and handling, and we're good. A new playstyle will have formed in Destiny 2, and we will essentially, and it sounds crazy to say this, but we will essentially be back in the Destiny 1 meta. Because in Destiny 1, especially for sweats and high-end gameplay, there were two loadouts that you can rock. Number one was basically the hand cannon of choice, which was maybe an AS Luna or whatever else you wanted to use, and then a shotgun in your secondary. And then there was also players that had last word snipers. And I just think it's so crazy to think about this, but we're just going back in time essentially. And this is one big loop of nerfs and buffs, and we're going to be back to the same exact place that we were 2 years ago. And even though it kind of sucks that there's not much innovation, I'm happy with it because sniping and using a last word is something that just feels so good, especially when you pair those two things together. But guys, that is it for my video. Thank you all so much for watching. Go out there, just stop wasting your time, go out there and use the last word and have some fun, because this is the most fun that I've had in Crucible in seriously the last 3 or 4 months. Thanks again for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, a like rating would be very much appreciated. Subscribe for more daily Destiny 2 content. Have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you all later. Peace.